to get our minds and our
I forgot to remove his ramblings from that, so we're not going to be able to do this all.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers, commentators, experts, and/or hosts. They do not explicitly or necessarily reflect nor represent the channel's policy or the views held by this channel or broadcaster. The broadcaster or its channel cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this program.
Who are you? Really?
Really? I am just a figment of your imagination.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the DSA. And boy, do we have a special, and I mean very special, cunt that we're going to go over to give you an idea what kind
Because
of
of his
cunt he
prophecies
is.
surrounding the election, the church went viral on social media overnight. Suddenly, they had a much bigger outreach, more church members, and more money. But now, as the church is rapidly expanding, some folks are really worried about their intentions. Robin Bullock is a man who leads Church International in Warrior, Alabama, along with his wife, the head pastor, Robin R. Bullock.
It is all about Jesus.
Robin believes that God tells him things that will happen in the future. He's prophesied about earthquakes in the Middle East,
Yes, there will be an earthquake in the land.
the Democratic Party going underground,
Lord said they would rise again and come to power under the antichrist.
alleged homosexual
You
armies.
send your hordes of homosexual armies.
Right now, the state of Alabama is investigating the church's nonprofit and Robin D. Bullock over how they're spending their money and their lack of filing financial documents. So far, what we know is that the church's nonprofit has bought about 20 parcels in Warrior since early 2021. In the last 2.5 years, the church has spent $6 million on all of these properties in Warrior, plus another $2 million on a house in Trafford. One of those big purchases was earlier this year, a furniture store for $4 million. Another was the Bullock's $400,000 house. That's a lot of money for a town of this size. What's interesting is that the church hasn't shared any of its tax returns for at least 5 years that would document these purchases. So far, because the church won't turn over all of their financial documents, the state's Department of Revenue is suing the church and Robin D. Bullock, alleging contempt of court. The church is buying all of these properties through its nonprofit. Robin D. Bullock is the primary officer of that nonprofit. And so on the land records, all of it's listed as the church's nonprofit entity. even his primary residence. So far, the Bullocks haven't sat down with the city council or shared publicly what their plans are for all of this land. But recently, the church's attorney said in a court filing that the church plans to use the land to turn Warrior into a city on a hill, open a domestic violence support center, and prevent any abortion clinics from locating in Warrior. A lot of Warrior's residents are really nervous about this, especially for folks who have lived there for generations.
You got a church comes into your town and takes over your fucking town. I'd fucking burn their shit. I would fucking burn their shit.
America, fuck no.
The residents of Warrior are actually quite worried he's going to turn their town into another Jonestown. And that's actually something realistic because he plans to turn Warrior into a training ground for the manifest sons of God, also known as the fucking army of idiot darkness.
I believe that America at the moment, the evangelicals kicking off and Project 2025, that their crave for power is just incredible, and Trump will give it to them because they praise him. And Trump being praised is you know, that's how you get it in his good books, by praising Trump. Hey Al.
Hey, how's it going? How's everybody?
Yeah, good.
Excellent.
Pretty good.
I'm glad I was able to pop in for a few minutes.
We'd love to have you.
I do think the Christian side of America is probably 80% secular anyway, and I'm guessing most of them believe in women's rights and this and that. They just praise Jesus. They go to church. They're good people. But you have this extremist side of it, like the evangelicals and the people who run this Project 2025, that if Trump gets in, a woman will never vote again in America. Simple as that.
Nobody will vote again.
Project 2020
and that regime is taken out like Hitler. Because it'll be Trump,
Well,
it'll be Trump
funny
Jr.,
you mention that.
Eric Trump, or whatever.
Funny that you mention that, because all of the most politically active churches, the ones like Robin Bullock, their end times eschatology matches Blavatsky more than it actually does the New Testament. That is actually a feature of Nazi infiltration. Not all people who engage in the New Agey religions are Nazis, but all Nazis believe in ideas that come from Blavatsky. And part of it is the violent end times eschatology. I'm almost done with that video, but let's start with the video about Robin.
Accused of being prosperity preachers, or you're going to find out they were not the ones you had to be concerned with.
He's already dressed like the
More
devil.
so than any.
Black leather.
Oh yeah.
Top to bottom, black hair, which is obviously dyed, or maybe a wig. I don't know. But
these guys are not as I don't know. It's a little scary, right?
He's not flamboyant. I mean, most of these religious nut jobs are very flamboyant. Look at Ken Copeland. He's always got this like suit on, and he's always flamboyant. This is Elon Musk talking about Twitter and Bitcoin. It's boring.
This guy's the grunge preacher.
Wicked governments and wicked politicians are going to try to buy off churches.
No, churches are the ones buying the politicians. You dumb cunt.
I don't think they understand how this works. Jesus.
Well, I picked this particular clip because he's hanging himself here, because he's one of Putin's preachers.
They're going to try to buy them off. And this is the color of money that I'm speaking about. This is what it's been about. The Lord said, open the whole program with this sound and these words. And now he's explaining what he's talking about. It's when the political realm can offer enough money to ministries and churches to buy them off.
He is 100% lying for Putin.
No way.
Yeah, obviously, they all are.
And buy their voice. And buy their
I believe it's the other way around, isn't it?
When that begins to happen, Medusa
buying the
is
politicians.
turning the... That's
Oh, Medusa's involved now too, eh?
Yeah, really weird. So
I thought she was
here's
like a
why
Greek
I
myth or
picked that
something.
clip. Well, this guy takes absolutely all imagery from absolutely fucking everything to make an incoherent and babbling
Well,
point.
I mean, it's a nice break from
in our
biblical
hearts
literalism.
in place to hear it. He says, for I have come to everyone, leaders of political parties.
No, he didn't say that.
What book is that?
Jesus is
His own book?
Jesus did not say leaders of political parties. He did not say that, you fucking MAGA prick.
In
You know,
fact, there's very little in the New
They just
New
make this shit
Testament
up as they go
suggesting that they
along.
should be involved.
Yeah, they just make
Oh,
this
yeah.
shit.
And now I come to you, Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, Jesus said that.
And I praise you.
I read that. It was in Corinthians chapter 12.
Jesus made a number of famous references to Russia. I just can't think of any of them
I can't find any.
because they don't
Because they're not in
fucking
the book.
exist. That's the only problem with that.
Yeah,
They-
Jesus talked about Putin.
I don't
Yeah.
even think like the
Jesus
Greeks
talked
mentioned like the
Vladimir
Cossacks or anything like that. Like, I don't think that region was like really well known. almost
No,
like,
in fact, the
Go ahead.
he's making it up.
Oh,
The
way.
only reference in the Bible that could possibly be construed to Russia is in Daniel about the bear with 3 ribs in its mouth. But other than that, there's nothing. And that's taking later references and trying to cram it with round holes, square pegs, and live puppies.
well, that just
And
that
I'll
doesn't
offer
sound
you-
like something they do.
Sir Little Wolf says JC meets VP, and I'm sure that's 2 transsexual toilets next to each other. They're the labels on the door. JC, VP. Guess which one? That sounds
yeah, I
like
mean, you gotta-
that sounds a bit
there's also
Trumpy.
There's also a JD with VD trying to become a VP.
JD trying to be.
Okay, guys, you're losing me. You're losing me.
Well, go away then, cock.
There's too many letters.
You guys are
And
weird.
this particular pile of crap Robin's going on about was, I believe it was in spring of 2022. So everything that he was promising Putin turned out to not come to pass in spectacular
A
fashion.
destiny like no other leader in Russia.
Actually, he's probably going to wind up with a sack over his head like the Romanovs sooner or later. Or,
No, you won't.
better yet, maybe a destiny like no other being hauled to The Hague.
I offer you an opportunity that Pharaoh turned down. I offer you redemption.
Is it Red Dead
And who
Redemption?
the fuck are
The
you,
Red
Robin?
Dead.
I have
Sorry,
no
get in there.
idea. But this guy's a real fucker.
I offer to put off all of the negative prophecies concerning Russia in the future.
Fuck, Russia didn't even exist in the Bible, you prick. Why
How
is
does
he
this guy
reading
do
this?
this?
What Bible's he reading this
Oh
from?
my god!
Just
But
like
even-
the fucking
even if it was-
he's actually running his finger along.
Dog, even if it was right there,
fucking
right in
Bible
plain
you
black
reading
and
this?
white, what, on what basis does this guy think he has that kind of control? If there were one single prophecy, even in black and white, you say, "Oh well, you know, remember when Jesus said Russia would have this and that? I'm gonna put like."
Oh,
How the
I've just
fuck would
got
he
it.
do
I
it?
just got it. I just got it. That's the Trump Bible he's reading. But he's reading from the
Oh,
Trump
okay.
Bible. Obviously.
You think there's a book
But-
of there's a
but
book
so-
of Putin in the Trump Bible? I wouldn't
But-
drop
but
the
so
money
thi-
on it
this
to find
cunt
I'm
out.
guessing
But
he is.
So this cunt is openly pro-Putin.
mm,
Oh,
Yes,
I gotta give
he
him that.
is.
And he's open about it.
a lot of people are pro Putin in the States now. There's
Well,
a lot
so
of
is Jesus according to
ultra
him.
right wing nut jobs. Like I can't
Hey,
believe we've
Pat.
gone from like, you know, the Cold War rhetoric has turned into like some kind of weird strange bedfellows of politics, I guess, but holy fuck, it's wild to
What
me.
was the 80s, dude?
Yeah.
Get over it.
Well, I'm not over it.
It's really fucking weird when the liberal Democrat has to use the words of Ronald Reagan to shame Republicans at
Until
work.
after
I can't
your
believe he's running his finger over this Bible and saying, and Russia didn't exist in the Bible. It just
Oh.
didn't. You know, they
Well, you know.
didn't get beyond fucking Egypt or Persia, as it was called. But Russia?
Yeah, the
Basically,
book doesn't make
this
a lot of
guy-
references
Europe.
beyond that area.
Although they're not the top
This guy
country.
right here,
Hey,
he
lad.
he finds the most interesting things in the Bible that never exist. Like
course, yeah.
it was December of 2020, and he was pointing right to the middle of the book and says, "You don't think I can make things right by Christmas? I can too," as if he was reading from the Bible. Show me where in the Old Testament or the New Testament the word Christmas exists.
Well, you don't
Hey,
remember
Trees.
the
But
old
he's
story
like,
about
he's
when
reading it.
there's the old story about when Jesus and Santa brought the first Christmas tree into the manger. Do you not remember that story, Commander? that-
Not
Is that
really.
not the one? You didn't read that one? Okay.
But he can
Though
play
I do
guitar, so
remember-
we forgive him.
I do remember when The Simpsons had the Hanukkah/Christmas special, and they had a bunch of Roman soldiers stuck in a tree. But outside of that,
Mm. That does sound like
God.
something that would have happened.
For I have seen you weep in the darkness, and I have seen what your heart wants to do.
and Putin's heart is loaded with murder, vile venom, and spiders.
Well, yeah.
Yet you are pushed by what others around you want to do.
Hey, Burp.
Pay no mind to them, says the Lord, and do not look at how the rest of the world is judging you.
Okay.
He doesn't care, but he knows that everyone thinks he's shit. Because he is.
Well, he's reading the Trump Bible. That's why Russia's in the Trump Bible.
For you are as Nebuchadnezzar to me, Putin.
For those of you who don't know,
Nebuchadnezzar.
but I'm assuming everybody does, Nebuchadnezzar was a fairly rotten individual who sacked
Yeah.
Jerusalem and hauled the Jews away.
Yeah, wasn't he?
He did
equivalent to
exist, but
Beelzebub in the Jewish Bible.
Yeah, he didn't come off as the most sympathetic character, but you know.
Well, Beelzebub was apparently is Satan now. That was but Nebuchadnezzar.
no, that gets confused with the fact that the Hebrew word for Babylon is Bavel. That kind of sounds like Beelzebub, but I'm trying to remember the verse in Isaiah. That's
Hey,
about
Jedi.
I left on the Jedi.
Nebuchadnezzar. Oh, bright and morning
Jedi, you're
star,
on.
how you
Jedi.
have been made low.
Who else showed up here? Purple's here.
Yes.
Sir Little
I
Wolf.
will use you as my
Jedi. I always see Nebuchadnezzar as the ship in the Matrix.
All right.
my battle axe.
Why should we call it JC and the boys?
Right now, my eagle is being held captive.
Listen to that.
Glasses?
He's looking to.
He's wearing glasses, isn't he?
Yes. Because he's also a faith healer who can't make his eyesight better and
Image
doesn't
gone.
want to wear contacts.
Image gone, dude. You got no
There you
image
go.
no more. The second you put reading glasses on to read nonsense that you just made up, oh, Russia in the Bible, then it was USSR before it was Russia. Then
Well, it was also other places prior to that.
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah. But what was it in the Bible?
In biblical times,
I think around that time would that area not be known as Tartaria?
Well,
no, you go on
maybe, but actually, Tiv was a city 400 year proper city 400 years before Kuchkova, also known as Moscow, was even a thing. So bears were fucking in the woods when Jesus was around, and I don't think there was anyone in Kuchkova. And wow, there's a joke about, because of the word Kuch, of there being sex tunnels. But anyway.
Oh, right.
Oh, this guy is a cunt. He's lying. Yeah, Russia is the world cunt. This guy is lying for Putin. He just said that he's basically going to use Putin as his battle axe because the eagle's been taken captive. So this guy is calling on Vladimir Putin to take out his political opponents.
And yet I am going to free it, says the Lord, before the winter.
This is winter of 2022.
Does he scream MAGA at the end of this speech?
Oh.
No, but he does call
Russia
death.
Great again. Make Russia Marga.
This guy does call down violence on his political opponents because he's a piece of shit. We all remember how 2022 turned out, right? Where they were preaching a red wave and it turned into a teeny little red tinkle.
So that the bear can hibernate again. Be at peace now.
The bear needs to be euthanized.
Now they're all struggling with the blue tsunami.
For you are not guilty in this action.
What the fuck? Putin is guilty as the day is fucking long.
Well, he's in the Bible, so he has
declaring.
to die. If he's in the Bible, if anyone in the Bible has to die, that's the way the Bible goes. It's a brutal book where everyone in it has to die.
Especially kids.
And if Putin's in the Bible, Vladimir Putin's in the Bible, then then the Bible says you will die. That's God's word.
You make it sound like it's a bad thing.
Both know this.
Everybody
Do
dies.
not let them.
Well, the Bible is a good thing.
Well, I mean, it says it's a good thing right now.
It's
right
really
I've read it.
It's really a fucking mixed bag.
It's
a mix.
It's a batch of Lord of the Rings for stupid people and barbaric nonsense in the Old Testament. The New Testament is basically, oh, I'm good, but I believe in the Old Testament. And then it comes to Revelation, which just goes to like, it's an equivalent to Daniel. They had nothing to write, so they just wrote a bunch of proverbs that will never come fucking true in Revelations. I mean, the Bible's, it's Harry Potter for idiots.
I don't know. I get the feeling you don't think it's like God's word and the honest truth.
No,
You're not
it's
suggesting
to
that,
tell
are
you the truth. What the Bible is, it's a bunch of half-truths, embellishments, and myths that were meant to be told to kids around a campfire in the Bronze Age Middle East.
Could we go through the myths
That's what it is.
the Bible, of the Torah? We've got unicorns, we've got giants, we've got we've got mermaids, people made of stone that come to life,
like sea monsters,
talking animals, sea monsters. We've got all of this
take people on trips in their bellies.
And is that not Harry Potter?
I don't know. I've never seen Harry Potter.
Push you into a rage and become
what?
guilty.
You never seen Harry Potter?
All the Potters I've ever seen were shaved.
You've never seen Harry Potter?
Yeah, no, seriously, never seen it. Never seen it.
You never read the book?
I've never read the books. No, I know it's weird, but I never have. I'm not making that up.
Says the
I know
Lord.
it sounds
worse than that.
I will make your name great in the earth and give you wealth and land in peace.
Fuck you, you Putin
Can you believe
fucker.
what he just promised? Yes, he is a Putin fucker. That's what he's promised Putin. And by the way, as of this time, Ukraine controls the majority of the Kursk Oblast.
Guess what?
How's it going, Robin?
Harry Potter is better because there's a protagonist. In the Bible, there is no protagonist. It's just fucking God. Do his will or die.
Yep.
That's the Bible.
Mm.
That's why Harry Potter's better.
And
there's
when
protagonist that can defeat.
But it's isn't what's her
Voldemort.
name that wrote it? Isn't she like a TERF or something? I mean, not that she couldn't have written a decent book and be a TERF, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know the book well enough.
J.K.
To know.
Rowling's.
Yeah.
She makes some good points, but she does put her foot in her mouth a lot. A bit like me.
Well,
if you
we
harden
all do
your
that
heart,
sometimes.
the
He's
reward
a
of
horrible cunt.
Pharaoh at the Red Sea will come upon you.
Then Pittance, that's the only thing here that he says would probably be true. Because Putin is going to die, and he is going to die in a horrible manner, I am sure. Good riddance to the fucker.
For you have your own Red Sea. React properly, and I will expose your enemies.
And here he's
properly?
promising nice things for the fucker Putin again. He
Well, yeah,
warned,
but why would
he
Putin
was
have
basically,
enemies? You know, he's
because
got.
Putin is a fucking cunt.
Yeah, exactly. He's the controller of a country. Why would he have enemies? All he wants is power and more power.
Yeah.
And taking over the breadbasket of Europe, which is the Ukraine. That's his goal at the moment, but he won't fucking stop there. He'll take back the whole of the USSR, and he'll move on beyond that, and he'll take on Poland until we drop
control of
fucking nukes
everything.
on Russia, and he'll fire them back, and the whole world will fucking just
I
end.
think that's what they're looking for. They're playing a massive game of chicken in hopes that they can like push everybody over the brink.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the rest of us just want to live our damn lives. Sorry, Commander.
Alexander Dugin basically said that Russia was going to bring about the end of the world, and he saw it as the Russia's duty because immortality comes from death, because the man is a fucking deluded cunt. And this guy's cheering that evil, disgusting regime.
For you are my battle
And then
axe
you
at
want to
this.
put Trump in the mix. You want to put Trump in the mix of that. Oh, yeah, we're all dead.
Well, not me, but holy fuck. And
No, you'll be dead as well, mate.
He's been spouting a lot of bullshit about how he's going to set everything right with all these dictatorial nonsense people. And I'm not saying anybody else has got it all figured out, but like, I don't think that guy would do anything except he'd sell the whole damn thing to them for a dime if he thought it would make him look good for 5 seconds on television.
You're the same guy that said, I know more about unions than anyone on earth. I know more about this. I know more about that.
Yeah,
and then when he's accused, I don't know nothing about that. I know nothing about this. I've never heard of Project 20.
He's got a lot of fucking convenient amnesia.
The guy is full of shit. But he's Putin's puppet.
Oh, hell yeah.
Putin controls him. Simple as that.
He's putting sex doll.
Although your straw hair isn't grey isn't blonde anymore, it's a beautiful grey, Donald. Oh, I love you, Vladimir. I love you.
I have no idea if this is true or not, but
the guy just fucking.
It just seems so fucking weird.
Well, this is it. And if you let dictators take over the planet, then we're all fucked. Simple as that.
Yeah.
It'll just be them left.
This guy is.
Go on.
This guy, for those who just came in, Robin Bullock is lying for Vladimir Putin. And he's basically, this is 2022, so a lot of the promises he made for Putin did not come to pass. This guy's a Seven Mountains Dominionist Christian nationalist.
Well, he literally pointed Russia out in the Bible. I'm pretty sure.
But it's not in the Bible.
That Russia is not in the Bible at all. I don't
even think not in the Bible you've read.
Maybe you should read the Russian Bible.
The closest.
Well, I said this is the Trump Bible. It has to be the Trump Bible.
Are the Russians not mostly Eastern Orthodox?
Yeah, most. Well, actually,
in some areas, but
the Orthodox are mainly Catholics.
Actually, Russia is not very religious. But the portions that are not very religious as a whole, and there's the Cathedral of the Ministry of Defense there, or whatever the fuck they call the military, where they have portraits of Stalin, of all people, in their fucking military cathedral, which is more or less a Nazi shrine. Literally, the steps of the cathedral are made out of Nazi tank treads.
Because my eagle has been taken captive. But look to the winter, says the Lord, when you will rest and the eagle will go free.
None of that's in the Bible, though. I don't remember reading any of that in the Bible.
Well, it's not in the Bible, and what this fucker said didn't come to pass anyway, because the Democrats did not get slaughtered in the election. They held the Senate, almost held the House.
Yeah.
And congratulations to the armed forces of Ukraine, because Kursk is now Ukraine.
Yeah.
Says the Lord.
Hey, Westside.
Hey, Westside.
Good is the word of the Lord.
Was the Ukraine brought up in the Bible? Was it like if they didn't talk about Russia, did they talk about Ukraine? Was it mentioned by name?
No.
Okay.
I'd have to actually look up if any of these regions are mentioned, but
the word of the Lord. Hallelujah. So the Lord had me give a prophetic word to a foreign king.
And it did not come to pass, you fucking cunt. And that ain't the Lord, that's your active imagination.
And offered him something. And people say, you really think he will hear this? Yes.
Oh, he's gonna.
Yes.
He's gonna make something else from his Bible.
Hello to the West Side.
Well, of course, Putin's going to hear what that guy said because Putin's paying him.
So Putin does pay attention to this asshat?
No, the FSB just pays people in America to lie for Russia.
Just more of the, and this, you said it's about two years old, this video.
Yes, but he's made other mentions, basically lying for Russia since then. Only thing is, those are much shorter and harder to clip.
Or the Lord would not have said, give it.
The Lord didn't say give it. He worships fucking Putin.
For this is his opportunity. There are opportunities right now given to Biden, who is...
No, Biden's a good man. This cunt is just lying for Putin.
Biden's Catholic, isn't
bogus.
He goes to church every Sunday. So,
yeah.
Or most Sundays, and he's president of the USA. So he may not make it every Sunday. He may have issues to deal with, like orange blobs fucking dotting about the country talking shit. So I doubt he makes every single church Sunday, but he does regularly go to church, Catholic church. He's a Catholic.
Ow, Brainless just dropped out.
He'll be back in.
He might be. They might have gotten to him. That they are listening. But we didn't heard him talk for a little bit.
Oh, so maybe it was prophesied. The rolling guy's Bible. He seems to be making all sorts of other shit.
Prophesied the Brainless would drop out of this stream.
Commander's fucking stream on this date. Every day, if that happened, then yeah.
Even though the internet didn't exist when the Bible was written.
Neither did Russia, but he mentioned that. Neither did Vladimir Putin. He mentioned him in the Bible. He actually run his finger across the Bible and said Vladimir Putin. That's why I said it was obviously Trump's Bible.
Yeah.
It has to be Trump's Bible. If Putin's mentioned in it.
Yep.
Hour of the waves of the future are heading your way.
And he didn't predict that Biden would drop out. As far as people go, I would consider Biden more sincere in his religious beliefs than this fucker.
Biden. And you are powerless to stop it. You can't even climb above it.
Is Biden in your Bible, dude? I bet he is.
Nope. Robin's making shit up.
I'm sure we could find it in there.
He's not in Acts somewhere. I'm guessing he's Acts, Romans, maybe, or Galatians.
For you have.
I reckon Biden might be written in there in his Bible because he literally pointed his finger saying Vladimir Putin, Russia, across his Bible. That's Trump's Bible. And I'm guessing Biden's in there because Trump fucking hates Biden. Simple as that.
Hey, there's a whole fuckload of shit in his Bible that doesn't exist in any other.
No platform to climb on. For it will come over your head and roll.
And the cunt just winds up rambling on about how much he hates Biden and the Democrats and the glory of the fucking orange loser.
Does he put his glasses on again and make himself look stupid? Oh no, not hair! No. Are we gonna go there? Okay.
And God has showed me some.
Oh, here we go.
Here's some more of that cunt.
What he actually means by the word wealth.
Yeah. You look like
now there's a verse in the Bible that does describe these people.
No one wants to eat. Or what they call them? Candy floss. I don't know.
Cotton candy.
Cotton candy. You look at cotton candy, everyone wants to kick to the fucking ground. Or what someone, or some park executive or park janitor has picked up. Look at you. The stick's falling out of you.
This is... Well, that's her gappy stick. Now, we have a gag for that simply because... Now that she has her fucking gaffy stick, she can be a real fucking prophet. I mean, ridiculous clown.
Not what you think. Because the more you spend it for him, the more he's going to send it. Christ didn't actually live poor. He grew up in wealth, with wealth.
This is what we're dealing with, folks. Odds are Christ didn't exist. But if Jesus did, there's no indication that he was rich.
He had wealth his whole life.
If Jesus did come back to life, he'd be a zombie and he would have had his head, well, either his head removed or his brains bashed in within minutes of him coming out of that tomb. That's how you got to deal with zombies, apparently.
So
You've got to remove the head or bash the brains.
Rich, you know, it's more holy to be poor. I don't think so. Do you know I saw some people's mansions in heaven?
This is from 2023, I think. Then there's an adjoining clip with Robin because they were in the same place.
One mansion.
She looks like a fucking French poodle.
She looks like an evil clown with a gaffy stick, mixed with a poodle.
So he's not poor. And he's certainly not broke.
That brings me to another question, right? If God created the heavens and the earth and owns everything, why does he need you to give freaks like this your money?
Jinx is right. She looks like she's about to say, "You shall not pass." She looks like Gandalf. Or Camp Gal, though.
Now you can see it play out on the cross. When they took his raiment, he had
there he is, the Bullock. I'm just talking Lord of the Rings now. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Garments. Only the rich wore 3.
Yeah, but she's there saying, "You shall not pass." So you're passed.
It got quiet. It always gets quiet because everybody thinks Jesus just rode around on a donkey.
That's what the fucking book says.
Off the ground. He had 5 houses.
See, Wolf.
Oh, I don't know if I believe that. I don't even care. He had 5 houses. Why else do you think Joseph could get up in the middle of the night, hire a whole caravan, and go to Egypt? He had the moolah.
It doesn't take money to travel those days. It took time.
Listen to me.
Okay, here's something that we have to go over because this is one of his prophecies, and then I'm going to play a video after he starts talking about crypto.
Force the beast to go into the tribulation broke.
This guy says he believes the Bible, right? Mm-hmm. But he also thinks that he can change the prophecies in the book of Revelation, which basically say that if you add or subtract from these things, these curses will be added to you. But right here, he's changing what's actually in that book.
No,
so he's proving he doesn't know the book he's trying to teach.
Commander, we just seen that in real time when he run his finger across the book and mentioned Vladimir Putin and Russia in a verse from Jesus. So we know it's all bollocks what he's going to say. Of course.
Force him to go into the tribulation broke. I know it's going to happen. The reason being is because he's given 7 years, but only 3.5 of that he has any real power.
Yeah, he's got to build up funds.
That's because he has to build up funds to fund that last 3.5 years.
He's talking about the antichrist.
It's
And
all
whether
right.
or
He's
not
talking about
that
Trump. Who is the Antichrist?
Well, yeah, we were going to actually. Well, if there was one person when I did believe in Christianity that I would say fit the bill, it would be Trump. I mean, the word Daniel used in the original Hebrew for the little horn was Kuf Resh Nun, also known as Karen.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and
Don't give him enough to go into 7 because then he would have a completion.
Yeah.
this guy is saying that you can stop all the badness in the book of Revelation by cutting off the funds of the Antichrist. And I'm not saying that that book is real by any means. I'm saying this guy is showing that he doesn't believe his own book, because if you add or subtract anything from those prophecies, all the curses will be added to you. That's what the book says. I'm not saying the book
He's
is
looking
right.
to
or
complete
what.
a 7-year domestic tribulation. He's looking to complete that. But if you cut it in half, he cannot. It takes him the first half of it to even build up the funds. So you have to, this is why he wants to get.
And where the fuck is that in the text? I know those texts. I know he's
cryptocurrency.
lying.
This is why he wants to get unreal monies flowing everywhere so that he can take the real silver and gold and you have nothing but air.
Okay, so to give you an idea what kind of prophet he is, he's either a lying sack
I'm
of
laying
shit
out
or
my
he nailed it
plan
here.
to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet and the Bitcoin superpower of the world. And we're
Yeah, but you don't even know what crypto is, you orange prick. And to go back to that other guy,
Snow on your
more atheists have read the Bible than believers, and it's a simple fact. Because if you ever read the Bible, you would know it was full of shit. Simple. That all logical thinking minds will think.
I think they're tired of hearing us say that, but I don't think you're wrong. Because once you know what's in it,
exactly,
and read it for what it is,
most of them
book
just
out of control and fear, and
most of them rely on their sermons from their priests of a Sunday church, and they go, "Oh God, yeah, I believe in that. Yeah, of course I will."
Well, and people have
never
said,
read the Bible.
I've heard people like directly contradict things that are in there because they don't know it's there because they've obviously never read it, and they're appalled by the things when they're arguing with somebody that does know it and says, "Hey, do you agree with this?" They're like, "What doesn't say that?"
Anyone that's read the Bible, anyone that's read the Bible and believes it, they become extremists. They have to. Because they believe all that bollocks. And they become extremists. Where anyone that's read the Bible, mostly become atheists. Because you know it's nonsense.
Let me address Martin here. Yes, Martin. I do remember when he went to Mount Carmel and he waved his gaffy stick and declared that there would be peace for Israel in forever and ever and ever. And if he believed them Bibles, he would know that the things that were coming out of his mouth don't fit the Bible if he believed it. And also, even if you don't believe the Bible, you know there's not going to be peace. in that area until all of humanity ceases to exist. And Martin is actually one of the subbies who is a theist, I believe, and not a jerk.
Yeah, and I'm
So
also
I
going to say,
did want to be polite.
Commander, I think Tori also may be a theist or a believer. I can't remember. Tori's a good supporter of mine and a friend that comes over to my channel and has seen you on my channel and in the chat, I think. And I don't know if you remember them, but yeah, Tori's great. And so yeah, and I could be wrong. Tori, you can clarify too if you're not. I may be misremembering, because I know there's a couple of people I've met from DCs that are and are not on the theist side.
And if Trump wins, forbid that ever happen, I am going to go over just about everything as to a channel that I was somewhat involved with, as to why that fucker fits every definition that there is in the book, the Bible. Like, you know, with politicians or even with Hitler, you can only go so far with that. But Trump, I think there was over like 60 points that he matched last time I checked. So it's like Trump set out to just meet all those points.
You just clarify,
So,
Commander, because I lost the thread of what you were saying partway through there. That you're saying he meets which definitions, because there's more than one character described. So I just want to make sure that's clear.
Well, to give you an idea, like I've gone over the Karen, but also the characteristics, i.e. the psychology. He has a weird ancestries.
Okay, yeah. So you're not saying specifically
I need to make
one character.
He runs the character that he matches would be, if I were going to say who was going to be the antichrist, I'd say Trump. Because there's a psychological makeup. There's
I thought that might have been where you were going, but I didn't
believe
want
it or
to
not,
put those words in your mouth there.
He's from. It's really weird, but we can continue. I know we don't want to go into speculative stuff until.
Can I give a quick answer to Martin's major post? You know, remembering in the Torah, and Commander will help me out here. The Mount Senhena, is it Senhena?
Mount Carmel was on the
I'm on about where
Bullock went.
I'm on about where the Jewish of the biblical times sacrifice their children to this god or Elo.
Oh, where the sacrifices were brought to from the
You
Testament?
You mean the Akeda? You mean the Akeda with Abraham?
They brought them to the base of a mountain. I think it was it Senhena? I may have got that wrong, actually.
I don't know.
I'll have to Google that. But
that is the sacrificing of Israelite children or children in general to the god. The only mention.
Feed them to bears.
The only mention. Oh, you're talking about where they made some kids made fun of a guy for having bald hair and the
that's different than a sacrifice.
No, I'm going through. This is a scripture, actually.
Or are you talking about the binding of Isaac?
This was a mountain where Jewish out.
You're talking about a historical practice, not a story in scripture, like what they did because they were instructed to, or reputed to. And I honestly don't know. I don't know.
It wasn't children. I know that
there,
Israelites who were worshiping like Baal and the other gods who did that. And I know that there was a blood cult and with animals and stuff.
Yeah, I remember
in
the animal part and the
Tanakh.
sacrifices being recommended for.
I don't remember specifically children being ordered by the ALO as to that.
And by the way, no animals were hurt in this stream. By the way,
Well, not that we know of. I mean, yeah, we're talking theoretically about theology, but no, like I think the distinction though, Dog, as you were saying, not about a specific story. Like where is it? Which is the one? Was it Abraham that was supposed to kill his kid? And
no, you're talking about was it Isaiah? No,
I don't know.
Yeah, and he
Isaiah?
took him up there, and God apparently spoke to him just before he.
Yeah, so no, I was just you don't have to do it now or whatever.
Oh,
right?
you are talking about the Akeda.
We're talking about.
You're talking about Isaac.
Oh, Isaac, that's
the
it.
binding
Yeah,
of Isaac.
But the important thing I think is that I think Dog was talking about not a specific story like that, but about instructions about like if you need this.
Yeah. Let me Gehenna. Gehenna was a mountain.
Oh. Okay, and I wouldn't be able to pronounce that properly. And if anyone can, it's probably Commander.
Or Gehenna or Gehenna or Gehenna. And that was the mountain where Jewish fathers would sacrifice their children to the god.
That was the binding of Isaac. And that was where God told, that was where Abraham heard a voice telling him to sacrifice his kid.
Commander, kids died. What the fuck?
Well, but I think, and that's the distinction I'm trying to clarify, is the Dog's talking about the ones that were sacrificed.
Sorry, Al. Again to Martin's, where he's just mentioned war. You know, the only warmongers are the religious. They talk war. They want war. They want these fights. Most wars are either religious or over land, and it's very rarely politics. It's mainly over land. Like Putin now, he just wants his old USSR back, so he's attacking Ukraine, the next country to him, and he won't stop there, obviously. And it's about wars. A lot of it is religious. Well, 90% of it is religious. Religious is a fucking scourge.
I mean,
it really is.
I think it's more caste than religion, but religion's used to control the people, to get the people to join in.
We know the Ukraine war. We know the Ukraine war is not about religion, but Vladimir Putin does use it he uses religion to try to justify his nonsense. So religion is a convenient tool to manipulate people.
That's my point. That's my point.
If anyone wants to come into the Discord, you're welcome. Just behave like a human being, and everyone should be fine.
Putin is insane. We know this, and it's all about, for him, it's land. He wants the old USSR back.
Yeah,
he's
not doing it for God, though, right? He's not a believer in God to do it for the glory of God. He's doing it. He may tell people that this and that is for God to keep them behind him.
But he does believe in God.
No, actually,
he's doing it for the power. He's a dictatorial dictator on earth. That's what he is. He's authoritarian, and he just wants the USSR to be repowered to what it is. And Ukraine is the nearest country to him. Next will be Lithuania. On from there.
Well, they're our next door neighbor too. They got the US on the bottom and Russia on top.
Got Lithuania next to them.
Putin is a theosophist. He also delights in Aleister Crowley's nonsense, and Blavatsky, like, to give you an idea, she read the New Testament and she said, can I create this beast religion that basically Blavatsky reacted to the Bible to create the antithesis of what the Bible says. And a lot of these, their eschatology actually comes from Blavatsky, not from the New Testament or even the Old Testament. There's nowhere, if you read it as a whole, you can reach these conclusions that Robin reaches. Now, Putin is also very superstitious. There was an instance in 2019. Shaman Gabyshev led a small group of people. Right? If Putin was either an atheist or he was a Christian.
Sounds quite religious to me.
Right, but I'm just going to give this example. If Putin was either a Christian or an atheist, when Shaman Gabyshev announced that he was going to lead a small band of people down the Trans-Siberian Highway to walk all the way to Moscow to exorcise Putin from office by burning some dung and some horsehair in Red Square, Putin, if he was either an atheist or he was a Christian, would have laughed it off. That would be consistent with the worldview. Putin actually had Shaman Gabyshev jailed.
Thank fuck Ukraine stood up and they're now bombing Russia. I don't mean in a good way. I mean, you know, because people are dying. But you know, they've said, fuck you, Putin.
Yeah.
We're gonna go after you. You killed fucking millions of ours. We're gonna start bombing you now, mate. And it's done. And thanks to him buying missiles from Israel, that the UN got involved and said, yeah, fuck you, we're going to give you all the missile support or anti-missile support that we can give you, and we're going to give you everything. Because Russia broke the rules. Putin broke the rules. He bought missiles till he's run out of weaponry now. And he hasn't got his people building like World War II, building fucking missiles and hand grenades and bombs and bullets and whatever was needed. He hasn't got them doing that. They're still capital of the world. And the rest of the world has said, yeah, you bought missiles, you broke the rules of the UN. So fuck you. We're going to supply Ukraine with everything they need to defeat you. But we're still not going to get involved just yet until you put another foot wrong than the UN, or they will just dive on you, and Russia will be ended. But I don't think he'll do that again.
I think everyone's afraid of it devolving, evolving or devolving, however you want to put it, into something that involves nuclear ordnance.
Yeah,
and nobody really wants to see that because of the if you'll pardon the pun, fallout that comes from it, right?
Yeah, because of that, that's why he's been threatening nuclear weapons. I will fire nuclear weapons. That's why he's been threatening them. Well,
yeah, he's like, it's a fucking cock measuring contest now.
I'm pretty sure. Well, yeah, this is the last hand in Texas Hold'em, and it's between Putin and the rest of the world, and he's got a pair of fucking queens. The rest of the world has a pair of aces.
Guys, to give you an idea of Putin's religion, and Martin, I do not mention where some of these clips come from, because there are conspiracies being peddled there that I know are not true, but this stuff I do know
Scott
is.
McKay.
Coming in this movement, which is drawing anybody and everybody from all corners of the planet, they want a piece of this. If I see that they are not working for the benefit of humanity, you know what I do. Yes, the tomahawk. Don't you ever say hatchet again for the rest of your whole life. I can tell you this. I had a conversation with Reverend William last night. And I said, you know what the problem is? We need the preachers and the pastors in the country coming onto this battlefield with my attitude. Believe me, you have the pastors of the country coming out like it is a revolutionary war, putting the Bible down, grabbing a musket, heading out into the hills, packing gunpowder in that fight, taking human life. We need fighters. We need battlefield soldiers.
Nothing's going to happen. And I don't mean
Sasha Stone, he's a theosophist. That's the favorite religion of the
just we, the people here in the United States. This is we, the people across the world. And the people across the world have to realize we are all one. We're all one family. We're from the same creator. We're all connected. We're all tethered together spiritually, energetically.
And failure if we do not go through a spiritual ascension leap in the process. What's that going to take? It's going to take a worldwide wake-up shockwave for people, number one, to learn the realities and the depravity of this planet. Number two, they have got to come off the bench and get into the fight. Having your world handed over to you again, having your country handed back to you again without you being invested in the fight, changes nothing. You're still the same person as you were yesterday. This is an ascension operation.
Yeah, but he already.
That's the language of the. That's the language of the spirit science thing.
Sorry, Commander. He already disqualified himself when he said, "Tomahawk, never say hatchet again." He just disqualified himself as not being a racist. He is a racist. He just basically
and more.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, this is religion for you. It's full of hatred.
He's a Nazi
and nonsense. Yeah, that's religion.
Scott McKay is a Nazi. Sasha Stone is a Nazi. Remember that one that we did that actually shut down the algorithm, and I had to with the Tataria and all of that. That shit's from Blavatsky, and that's what Nazis believe, but they're not packaging it in a way that many people know about it. But what this guy's talking about, the spiritual ascension, you have the manifest sons of God and the Seven Mountains Mandate. This is connected to that creepy Kremlin religion. And we're basically dealing with Nazi infiltration of the churches. The Seven Mountains Mandate. Well, I'm trying to find that video where I actually had the clip from the Lucis Trust website with Alice Bailey, who actually did influence Hitler. She was hugely anti-Semitic. And she was talking about controlling the 7 spheres of human society. And that's where the Seven Mountains Mandate comes from, because the only other place in the Bible that the 7 mountains are mentioned is the beast with the 7 heads, which are the 7 hills. So I'm just trying to unpack where the things that these Christian nationalists are going on about is just Nazi religion being repackaged as Christianity.
Yeah, but where do they get 7 spheres from? I mean, this is
because
just made up shit.
Well, yeah, it's made up shit. See, Blavatsky went to the Bible and she said, "Oh, 7 mountains. I want to create that beast religion." So she invented the idea of the 7 spheres from the 7 mountains. So you see how Blavatsky read the Bible, and then she tried to create a religion to fulfill the prophecies in that Bible of taking over the world and blah, blah, blah. Only she wanted to knock over the aloe.
It sounds like
and
a
put
person
her
that
dark
covers,
clothes.
covers
It's
herself
bullshit.
in.
We're trying to apply sense and sanity to absolute nonsense, right? Like I don't know where we're gonna get anywhere with it, but it's fun. But like it's not like we're dealing with rational thought here.
Well, of course, and it sounds like a person that will cover herself in healing crystals every night so she can have a good night's sleep.
Yes.
Do you have
Yes.
do you have any of
That's what
those,
that
Doc?
sounds
Do they work? I've never tried them.
Well,
They,
no,
no,
obviously you haven't
crystals do
tried.
not
They don't
work.
fucking work. Of course they're not. They're bits
Well, I'm
of
just
rock
checking.
that are just.
Can anyone answer Tori's question, or their because that's the really, like, Commander, I know you're way more well versed in, like, I guess, like, Eastern politics than I am of what's going on in Russia, Ukraine, etc.
Welcome back.
Well, he
Welcome back,
does
friends.
want to annex Ukraine.
Yeah.
Ukraine was the hub of Russian arms production.
Okay.
Ukraine was selling Russia tank parts before the war started. I mean, the Ukrainians just haul and the Ukrainians
that's
just
fine.
haul the broken tanks back to their factories and refit them. Ukraine was supplying Russia with arms before Russia invaded them. Roughly 60% of Soviet arms production was in Ukraine, and the Ukrainians have huge bomb-proof factories that they're using to supply themselves, but it's like not enough against the what Russia built up. And here's what Scott, it's called, this is the Christian version of the Aryan.
NAR
the,
leader
quote,
Rick Joyner
superior
published
one.
his books, The Harvest and The Call, both of which played significant roles in promoting and disseminating the Joel's Army and Manifest Sons of God theology. The Harvest vividly described an end-time army of believers gifted with extraordinary powers and divine authority to establish God's kingdom on earth.
See, in the book of Revelations, and I know the Bible's nonsense, but I'm just calling to the attention, in the book of Revelations, it basically says towards the end of the book that Jesus will come back, and with one word, and I'm paraphrasing here, the armies of darkness that gathered at the hill of Megiddo will be vanquished. This guy is saying that the church itself, all the believers, are going to do that. What this guy's saying does not match the book that he claims to promote, but it does match Blavatsky's eschatology. The churches were infiltrated by Nazis.
Can I simplify that?
Yes.
Putin is basically Donald Trump. He's an authoritarian. Oh, Trump's just a wannabe authoritarian who licks Putin's ass. And Putin wants the USSR back again. It's not Russia anymore, it's a liberated. All these countries are liberated now. And basically, the Ukraine became the breadbasket of Europe to all of us, to everyone in Europe. Putin wants the USSR back because he's a power-hungry prick, just like Trump is. And well, that's it. That's why he's invading the USSR. It's the closest country to him, and he will invade the rest
Martin.
afterwards.
Martin, if you go to the YouTube channel and the videos, last December I was in Ukraine.
Yeah.
It's not just to train AI. It's not even that training AI and war bots was the reason for the war. It's because Putin is a horrendous jerk. And the Russian authorities see themselves as helping usher in the end times in the worst ways imaginable. These are evil fuckers who absolutely, like Dugin said, Russia is going to bring about the end of the world, and he sees it as his duty because he's a fucker. But
and also
this is
Ukraine is a massive country, and there are still a lot of safe places to go there. Just because you see them attacking Kyiv and these certain cities in Ukraine, there's still a lot of safe places that you can still live out your life in Ukraine. It's a massive place. So this is it. This is what I think. This is why flares fail. They don't see the sizes of these places. And
Oh,
it
was huge.
Russia
it took 6 hours.
Yeah, Russia
to get from the border to Kyiv.
Yeah, Russia's is attacking Ukraine, but it's a big country. That's why they've got a lot of. That's why they push their way through to the border to attack Russia themselves with missiles that we supplied and the whole world has supplied, because no one wants to see an authoritarian just stomp over a country for whatever reason he wants to be.
One thing too, right?
Hey,
let me go over the conversations that I had with Starsky while I was there, because he did tell me a few things. He said that if the West did not continue to support the Ukraine was going to have to start targeting the oil, because that's how Russia pays for it. And sure enough, the Republicans held it back, and then they started talking about the oil. And I'm only mentioning what Starsky has said publicly. And then he mentioned these things before he said them publicly. And this is what we need to be concerned about. Because, right now, Ukraine is resisting. But if Ukraine is ever gang-pressed into the Russian military machine, the world is fucked, because look how well they resist. Look how well they resist.
Yeah, it's not the world.
You really don't want the arms factories. I know it's the Republicans here who don't want to support them.
It was never the world until, the world stayed out of this battle, and they had to. They gave Ukraine whatever they could until Russia, because they're running out of weapons, they're running out of ballistics, obviously, because they're buying them from Iran now. They're buying missiles from Iran because they run out of ballistics. And that's when the world said, fuck you, that's against the rules. Now we'll get involved. And Ukraine will be, who are not part of the UN, by the way.
Well, they have representation in the UN. They're not part of NATO.
Part of the UN. They don't pay.
But NATO supported them.
Or NATO, yeah, they're not part of it. But we supported them because of Putin. He's a prick. And the world says, no, we don't deal with pricks. Simple as that.
And the UN is worthless. The UN right now is worthless. It's NATO that's supplying a great deal.
Yeah, I think the WHO is bigger than not the WHO, the band, the WHO, the World Health Organization. I should elaborate on that. Because someone thinks, well, Roger Daltrey, oh yeah, he's a great singer. Just in case. But yeah, the World Health Organization is bigger than the UN at the moment, yeah. Well, obviously. Especially with COVID, still killing people daily.
We are going to continue with this. I was going to show the Christian how the parts of the North which are not actually in the book but are basically Nazi doctrines infiltrating the churches in America.
According to Joyner's vision of the future,
Father
an elite
Christmas
group
and
of
the Bible.
believers would rise to a state of spiritual maturity and divine power, enabling them to perform great miracles and overturn world systems, to claim dominion over unbelievers. The call continued the story by delving deeper into the spiritual journey of believers, emphasizing a radical commitment to the mission by heeding the call of God to join Joel's army and engage in spiritual warfare against the enemy, referring to unbelievers. That same year, Joyner posted a sermon called The Warrior Nation, the New Sound of the Church, in which he called these believers freedom fighters and claimed that the army was already forming. The strategy was very successful and extremely profitable. Joyner sold over 1 million copies of each book, and very quickly, Manifest Sons of God and Joel's Army theology spread throughout NAR churches. Within weeks, other ministers capitalized and monetized Joyner's doctrines. One NAR prophet, Todd Bentley, tattooed the words, Joel's Army, and dog tags across his sternum. Bentley was seen by many as a general in this army, and willingly donated to its cause. He even rented baseball stadiums, arenas, and airport hangars that cost as much as $15,000 a day, an expense valued at over $21,000 as of 2024. Joyner and Bentley, however, were not the pioneers in popularizing these doctrines. These themes were already significant within the latter rain movement that emerged in 1948, and the terms Joel's Army and latter rain were both inspired by passages from the Old Testament book of Joel. Specifically, Joel 2 verse 23 encouraged the children of Zion to rejoice over the former rain they had received and the anticipation of the imminent latter rain. Verse 25 describes the affliction of locusts, caterpillars, and palmerworms upon them, metaphorically referred to as a great army. The latter rain revival was spearheaded by William Branham, who played a crucial role in propagating the two-seed doctrine of Christian identity. In the theology of latter rain, it was believed that the most sinless among the believers would be endowed with the manifestation of God, granting them supernatural abilities. These elite believers were eventually referred to among latter rain converts as the manifest sons of God.
Yep, they'd be given superpowers and all that stuff. Now, here's an interesting thing about like that passage in Joel, that they claim they want to be a part of this
Though the
army.
passage from Joel is believed by many Bible scholars to symbolically refer to the invasion of the Assyrian army under Sennacherib, and most scholars agree the passage is written in prophetic symbolism for events that happened in the ancient world. The British Israel framework enabled leaders of latter rain to
That's a racist theory that claims that the tribe of Dan went through the Caucasian mountains, went to Denmark, became the Anglo-Saxons, and then somehow everyone in a country settled by Britain who's white is somehow an Israelite, which is absolute bollocks, but that's what the British Israelism is.
purpose Joel's prophecy to apply to the 20th century.
They shall run like mighty men.
Here's the passage, and I'm going to...
Most British Jews are cab drivers, by the way, in London. That's a fact. That's not a thing. That's a fact.
They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city, they shall run upon the wall, they shall climb up upon the houses, they shall enter in at the windows.
When they fall on the sword, they will not be.
Just to
and they're also
just a thing on the Jewish people being cab drivers. They're not Orthodox. Orthodox Jews in Britain are incredibly segregated. They segregate themselves into areas like Tottenham or Golders Green in London and certain areas in Britain where they just segregate themselves. That's the way they are. I don't know why they do that. No one cares that they're Jewish. These are Orthodox Jews I'm talking about now. Other Jewish
They
people.
segregate themselves because they feel better than the rest.
Yeah, I'm guessing that. Yeah.
Not exactly. See, one of the reasons is there are some little rules, right? That you can't carry stuff on the Shabbat. And there's other little rules where you can carry the books, but only within a holy dwelling or building. So there's a whole bunch of rules to negate other rules. And basically, they take a string and wrap it around the neighborhood, and that whole area is now sanctified so you can carry your books into shul. That's part of it. It's
That
not
makes sense.
necessarily, oh, I think you're better, but that's part of it
Oh,
because
no,
you're
no,
dealing
no,
with Orthodox. And
I don't mean anything like that. But the Orthodox, they wear certain clothes, certain hats. They have curls around the men. The women all wear wigs for whatever reason, and it's religious, obviously. And they carry certain items that look like pool cues to me, but I'm ignorant. But they are segregated to an area where
I just told you the
don't mind the
primary
reason.
reason why.
Exactly, yeah. But they I don't know why I've got no problem with them. No one has, but they seem to gather around an area and they stay there. So we've got Orthodox Jews all over the country.
I have Jewish family history. I have
Yeah, I
Jewish
know you
family
have.
history, and I can basically say this: unless I know who someone is, I'm actually nervous. I'm more at ease around brown and black people than I am around strange white people, and that's from growing up in Florida, having the Jewish family history, and just knowing that abuse comes from
Like a
certain
thief, the
places.
earth.
Yeah, I
But
get that.
what they're describing in Joel here is basically a bunch of people
Shall quake
behaving
before
like
them, the heavens
orcs.
shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? But I will remove far off from you the northern.
Okay, now this recording something. I skipped a few verses when it starts talking about how the army has a stench. That's literally talking about the army that was pillaging and raping and
army,
killing
and will drive him
previously.
into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savour shall come up, because he hath done great things.
That's talking about that Joel's army. Literally the Joel's army that these cunts want to be a part of is the army that they just said the stench will go up. So
Well, that's the hatred of religion.
when they're saying, oh, yeah, it's a source of tremendous animosity. And I'm putting out a video that goes more into depth about the creepy Russian religion. I hope Martin comes back. No one unsubscribed, so forbid Trump wins. I'm going to be going over why Trump matches the descriptions of the AC.
I think the Russian religion has made it, well, they say it's Orthodox, but I believe there's a lot of Catholic influence in the Russian religion, of Orthodox Russian. And
painting.
And
interesting.
Don't forget, the Catholic religion is incredibly anti-Semitic. Well, it's the worst religion.
Yeah, they didn't. Well, they didn't calm down until after World War II regarding the anti-Semitism. That really does.
Well,
why are you going to be horrible to someone because of who their mom is? And I never got why I was a bad person for caring about the commandments that are in that book that don't hurt people.
Yeah, but you got
Christians would weird out when I would bring up concepts that were either culturally alien to them because they were in the Nor, or culturally alien to them because Christians don't know about this stuff.
But you have to admit that, or you have to agree, I mean, this is, well, it's history, that the Catholic Church did give Hitler hints on how to kill millions of Jews. And they also convinced the Italian leaders, what was the name? The Italian leader.
Mussolini.
Mussolini to side with Hitler and invade Spain. So, yeah, they are a big influence on the planet. And they really are. And they still are. And it's, religion is shit. It's just full of fucking war, horror, and nonsense. And they believe in unproven nonsense as well. But it's all about power and control. That's all it is with religion, and all religion. And the same with Trump. He says he's not. He says, "Oh, I'm not Christian," but he just wants control and power, as most of these people do. The same with Putin and
Comfort has released a video where... Okay, that's the wrong one. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this is Comfort has released a video where he claims there's a crucial biblical principle that many Christians don't grasp, but two well-known atheists do.
Daniel.
So let's play the clip, and afterward, we'll break it down to figure out whether Ray is full of it, completely off his rocker, or if there's actually something worth paying attention to. Roll the clip.
A lot of evangelicals say, look, obviously he's a bad guy in his personal life, is sleeping with a porn, but God works in mysterious ways, and God sometimes chooses mess.
Yeah, but Trump's still anti-Semitic. He's used the word Jew as a term of derision
that we might not agree with, like David. David did all these wrong things in the Bible, but
David was a bad boy.
Yeah, and God chose him anyway. So Trump's just like David.
Man almost in history.
Whatever it wants to hear. Let's take a look at a video Ray Comfort and Gordon Robertson made back in 2013 to see what Ray had to say about this back then.
Adolf Hitler was the nastiest, most hate-filled, wicked man almost in history. And to say that he was a Christian is to be either tremendously ignorant or to be disingenuous. At the beginning of his political career, Adolf Hitler was a baby kisser, believe it or not. Even nowadays, if you want to get anywhere as a politician, you flavor your language and your speeches with maybe a Bible verse here and there, maybe have your picture taken with a robed minister outside his church on a Sunday, show up at a prayer breakfast and say something about God. And once you're in your place of political authority, then you can let your real agenda come out. And that's exactly what Hitler did.
You mean agendas like Project 2025, Ray? And he's going to have to jail himself because, well, he doesn't like the fact that American Jews do not like him. And he called us names.
He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, no, other than day one.
You are promising America tonight you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
It seems Ray should be aware that, back in 1930s Germany, churches turned to a very evil man to save them and their religion, and we all know how that turned out. Let's just take a brief look at what the MAGA circus has to offer.
Hey, you!
He's oranger than
Exactly.
Trump. He is oranger than Trump. Oh,
Well,
cold.
the
Take a
oh yeah, normally, yeah.
Yeah, you.
I think he's also a lizard.
Hey, you. When I'm back in the White House, we will use every tool, lever, and authority to get the homeless off our streets. Under my strategy, working with states, we will ban urban camping wherever possible. Violators of these bans will be arrested, but they will be given the option to accept treatment and services if they're willing to be rehabilitated.
So we
To be
can't
honest, if
do
I
any
was
of that
homeless-
nice stuff here.
If I was homeless in America, I would like to be taken to jail. I'd get 3 meals a day. I would not have to beg to live. I'd get a bed, warm cell. Why not? I don't know what Trump
Well,
thinks of people. He's just
he
wrong.
wants to take them out to cheap federal land to have their problems dealt with when we can't even help them here without being called horrible things.
Yeah,
but
you have to understand that if you want help, you will seek help. That's life. If you want the help, you need the help, you will look for the help. That's just the way life goes.
Well, there is a big stigma around using drugs and shit like that.
Yeah, but
People will-
that's what I was.
and that's a big reason why a lot of people
Yeah.
don't get help.
Well,
I was going to say
the same with the thing with being in debt.
I think we're going to have to get going because I got to get to work soon.
Okay.
Well, Sunday night.
Yep, I work.
Work is work.
I work 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. and
Not
my
for
days off are Tuesday and Wednesday. And that freedom of speech is just so important. I may not agree with what someone says, but I will defend to the death their right to say it as long as they're not threatening to kill me.
As long as it's not on Twitter.
Yeah, and well,
Or X.
and like as long as they take responsibility for what they're saying. If
Don't
you're
want to
spouting hate
disrespect.
speech, that's okay. But
Yeah, but even freedom of speech at a level where it becomes, it becomes so derogatory that you can be sued for it. So freedom of
Yeah.
speech, you can't say
No,
whatever
yeah.
you want.
and as long as it's isn't
It's not
misinformation.
just a slander and shit like that. Well, Fox News got sued for almost $1 billion for talking their shit. I'm guessing they're going to get sued again, and so is Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's kicking it off again about the machines, the count, and the machines are irrelevant now because every vote was hand counted in 2020. Hand counted. Yeah, it was.
No, hell fucking no. Words can hurt like fucking hell.
Oh yeah, no words.
Words
yeah,
can
no words.
fucking
I'm saying,
words can kill.
I've gone on about
Yeah,
the
they can, but
I've gone on about the
Yeah, that like that's why I don't like that
lie
saying.
that the vote was stolen because of the machine, the counting machines, and they sued Fox News for almost $1 billion, and well, they got plenty of other evidence that My Pillow guy, I doubt he's worthless now, Mike Lindell, and Fox News and all them other people, Marjorie Taylor Greene, all them other people that have said, they were all fucking wrong, but they became irrelevant when Republicans demanded a hand count of all the votes, and the hand count was counted, and yeah, Trump still lost. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. And he's definitely going to lose. Yeah, I mean, all the early votes point to like 100% Harris, and yeah, the whole world wants that. Not whether MAGA can complain or not. No, they're always going to say it was fake and fixed, and you know. And there's going to be a kickoff.
Well,
January. There's going to be a kickoff just after November, so just beware. You'll be safe on my settee, Commander, so don't worry about that. Well, no,
I'm going to have
a bed delivered for you. So,
yeah.
I'm going to have to get going. I will very shortly have that video about the creepy Russian religion and the infiltrating the churches and the NOR and the Nazis. It will be more in depth, be easier to explain things. And then hopefully Harris will win and we will be doing science stuff. We'll do some of this religion stuff, but
she'll win.
I want to have a healthier mix. I wanted to do political stuff before the election, obviously. And then when I change jobs, I'm going to have more time. And we're going to do some of that science-y stuff in the Discord that Loki wanted to do. And it'll be cool. All right, everybody, have a good night.
I hope you change jobs, because it's horrible saying. I hope you say, I don't like saying, I hope you enjoy a Sunday in work. It just sounds horrible.
Why?
Well, Sunday's a day off, man. I mean, that's God's day, isn't it?
Yeah, fuck God.